Hey guys, what's going on? Travis here to Magme Barbecue, and in this video I'm going to show you how to clean out your M1 or M36, or if you're one of the old school guys and have an M48, the bad boy, same premise, but if you have one of those, you know how to clean that sucker out. But I'm going to show you guys, if you're on the market, you're looking at, you're asking those questions, hey, how do you clean out your M1 or M36? Let's lift up this lid. This is my personal one that I have. Man, how long have I had this grill back here? I got hundreds, if not thousands of cooks on this grill. It's dirty, it's nasty, and I don't clean it after every time I fire it up. I do my cooks, and usually I leave it, and I'll do a cook again, and I leave it, cook again, leave it, until it gets to the point where like, I think it's time to clean it, and that's where we're at now. And I'm gonna put on some gloves because, yeah, I don't wanna get all like my hands all nasty and greasy and black and stuff. So, but, you have your grates. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna remove the grates. Actually, let's do this. I'm gonna take, I got a tool somewhere. Let's just use this one, knock off some little stuff off that. So let's get up in here. I'm just gonna pull these grates out. I got 3 grates. I already have my top shelf removed. I only use this typically when I am smoking. And we'll discuss more about that, the way the top shelf works and what it's designed for. It just, how much food you're gonna put in. Usually though, for grilling for my family, I usually take it off and put it to the side and just keep it clean. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull all this stuff out. Again, I usually never put charcoal in here. I usually only put charcoal in the searing basket. But since this, I did cook a while ago, and I cooked I made a lot of food on here, so I utilized the entire space for cooking, for grilling, but usually I don't. So this part's usually clean, so this is about as dirty as my pit ever gets. So I'm just gonna dump the ash out inside. Let's take this bottom grate out. I guess I could keep some of this charcoal in here and reuse it, but I do not want the ash on it. Look at that, sometimes you get with your charcoal, I don't know if you noticed, but look at that, a rock. Yep, there's a rock. Let's put this out and over. Now, as you see, it's in here. I got my adjustable grate. First thing I always do, I'm just gonna take something and scrape the edge here. Knock off any of this little food or some crust. And I'm just using a piece of smoking wood. You use whatever you want. All right, good enough. Put that to the side. Now, after any cook, but when you clean out this grill, you're always gonna have a layer of foil. It makes this job so much easier. Look at all of this ash that's in here. Now, because this pit is gasket sealed, I don't have to worry about water mixing in with this ash and rusting out the inside of this grill. But I'm gonna take my old foil that I have in here. I'm gonna try to keep all the ash on it as much as I can. But again, it's been so long, I probably should have put more layers. Bro, I have a lot of ash in here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab me a bucket and see if I could do this. I'm telling you, man, after a while, I do neglect my grills. You shouldn't, but I'm just being real with you. Gosh, I can't even pick that up. Let me get this. Let me get a shovel. We're gonna pull out the big tools in this one. Put a shovel in here. There we go. Now this is an extreme case of cleaning. Look at all this ash that's in here. Try not to get it on my dog. Now I'm gonna pick up just some remnants in here. I do usually out here, I keep a little paint scraper so I could just kind of get in the edges and knock all this ash and stuff to the middle. There we go. And you might be wondering, why is there not any clean out doors and stuff? That is actually because any doors that you have besides your lid and a firebox door, you're just allowing more potential air or leaks of air inside your smoker or grill, and you do not want that for precise heat control. So that's why this is a little bit unconventional in cleaning out your pit, but it's not hard. If you do have ash that goes into your firebox chamber, the best way to clean that out is through the firebox and just use like a long tool, and you can kind of knock this through and clean it. I'm not smoking on this, I'm just grilling. So yes, I do have ash into my little area through here, but it's no problem. Next time when I smoke in here, or before I smoke, I'm gonna clean that out. But for right now, I'm just getting this ready for grilling. And I probably do this once every, man, to be honest with you, probably once every 2 or 3 months. Clean enough, empty. That's the baffle right here. Now, aluminum foil. This is key, and you gotta get heavy duty aluminum foil. Don't get that cheap crap. Get the heavy foil. Put a nice bed in here, cover your edges. Ooh, don't cover up your throat over here for your firebox. So that is your airflow coming in. And I do use the big sheets of foil. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is done. And now I'm going to put my grate back in, but I think I'm actually going to use this charcoal. I'm going to put this in my, man, once I get these rocks out of here though, I will just dump this. Look at that, another rock. That is crazy. And I honestly do not remember where this charcoal came from. So I'm going to put my searing box right here. Let me just push this charcoal in. We will use that tonight. Good enough. Slide that back over. Drop this in. There we go. Got some charcoal in there. Drop this. I'm going to just scrape some of this off. There we go. Now, that's it. Now, let me lower my grates. Wipe my gasket off a little bit because I got ash everywhere. And while I'm at it, I'm going to scrape the top of my grate rails. Do that one. And it's falling aside, that's okay. Okay. Perfect. All right, I'll put my grates back in. One to the left, one to the right, and one to the center. So guys, you see there, it's very easy to do. Only takes a couple of minutes, maybe more. See how long this took on the video? Don't take long. It's very easy. You can get a little dirty, but come on, man, it's barbecue. Get dirty. That's why we cooking with charcoal. Yeah, I'm actually gonna replenish. I'm gonna put some more charcoal into the searing box because I am cooking tonight. I am making some fajitas, and I'm gonna take a couple of these grate tools. I don't want to get my hands dirty anymore. I have so many grate removing tools, and I use them religiously. Look, I mean, dude, I have these tools everywhere, and I freaking love them. And they work with anything, any type of grill. I'm gonna take some of these char logs, dump the remaining of that bag in. It's empty. Okay. So char logs are just something I pick up once in a while. My grocery store nearby has them. It's usually always on sale. I'm just gonna use some of these, maybe one more, booyah. That's kind of how I set up my firebox. Oh, so I went through all that to keep my hands clean, and yeah. Now that I got my charcoal in a firebox, my friends and I make this stuff, and this is a paraffin wax type of fire starter. And dude, these things are great. We call them fuego pods. My friend came up with this. I mean, not really came up with it, but he found the recipe, and we get together sometimes and we sit around and make these pods, and they're amazing. I'm going to drop that in right here in the middle. I like to just make me a little hole in the center. Then I'll stack my charcoal around it, like so. I like to make me like a little volcano, I guess you could say. So that's good. I'm gonna find a little hole over here, see if I can light it. Nope, look at that, I blocked it out, I can't even light it. Here, let's do this. Let's light it first. You just light the whole thing on fire. Very easy. So I'm gonna put one there, I'll put one here. Maybe do one over here. Something like that. I do usually, I will raise this up a little bit, just so I can make sure I get a lot of air just to get my charcoal started. And I'm gonna put one more right over this little center here. So that's it, guys. That's how I clean out and I fire up my M36. You know, like I said, I only clean this grill out like once every freaking blue moon. I don't clean it out often. And usually because I'm grilling in this M36 more than smoking in it, personally. But again, depending on what I'm doing, just depends on the cook. But I know I can do anything on this pit, so it's so versatile. That's it. I'm gonna let my charcoal get warmed up. That's all. It's easy, guys. It's freaking easy. And we'll talk more about this pit in the future, but man, it's solid. You hear that? Like, that's solid. All right, until next time, guys.